Hi there, my name is Ophelia and I am the local Kooth Engagement Lead for the Bury area. For the next 15 minutes, I'm going to share with you a quick presentation about Kooth to give you a bit more information about what our service is and the kind of support that we can offer to young people. So I'm just going to share my screen now. Okay, so if you've not heard of Kooth before, we are a website at kooth.com and we are an online mental health and wellbeing service. I will mention now that we are not an app, so a young person wouldn't find us in the App Store, but they can get us on any device and any browser. And in the Bury area, we are commissioned to support the ages of 11 to 18 up to a young person's 19th birthday. To give you a little bit of background information about Kooth, we were founded back in 2001, so we have been going for 20 years now, and we were founded with the intention to try and help break down the stigma that's attached to mental health services. So with that, our support is online, and we are also anonymous, so people's identities are protected on Kooth, and we're also self-referral based. So a young person doesn't need to go through a referral process. There are no thresholds that they have to meet. All they need is that website address to create an account, and then they have access to all the different support features on there. We are also a flagship service and we have won awards for our delivery. In fact, we recently won the 2021 UK Business Tech Awards for Health Tech Pioneer of the Year. And where appropriate, we may also provide gateways into other services just to whatever might best meet a young person's needs. And we do also attract young people with a wide range of needs from a variety of different backgrounds as well. In terms of the support that we can offer, as you can see here, there's quite a lot. Whether it is supporting someone who might just be going through a bit of a tough time, low mood, difficulties with friends or challenges at school, all the way through to supporting those who might be the most vulnerable, dealing with things like trauma. In fact, as of 2020, we did become a trauma-informed service. So pretty much whatever the level of need, we can support young people with it. As I mentioned, we are anonymous, and that means that young people might feel more able to access our support without any fear of judgment. And because there are a lot of different support features on there, we like to think the service has been a bit of a full mental health toolkit. Broadly speaking, there are about 3 different strands of support. There are self-help resources on Kooth, like goal setting and their online journal. We also have community support, so young people can talk to each other about our activities hub. They can also talk to each other on our discussion boards, and on the magazine they can submit their own articles and have those published. And finally, we also have our practitioner-led interventions. So that means our Kooth team can offer therapeutic support to young people, whether that's by a live chat, where a young person can have a 1-hour chat session once a week, or they can access a 24-hour messaging inbox. So with that, we always respond to young people in under 24 hours. And if, say, they message us at lunchtime, they'll get a much quicker response rate than that. With the chat, I do want to mention that everything is all typing and text-based. So there's no phone calls, no video calls. If you know what WhatsApp messaging looks like, it looks a little bit like that. Now, before I go into a little bit more detail about each of those different support features, I do want to mention that a young person has to create an account to access everything on Kooth, but the sign-up process is very quick and simple. It might just take about a minute or so to do. We ask for a few details like where they live, and that only means their area. We're not asking for home addresses. So for a young person from Bury, they would just want to choose Bury from the drop-down list, and just whichever of these locations is nearest to them. Then we'd ask for the year and month that they were born, what best describes their gender, and what most closely matches their ethnicity. And once we've gone through all of those details, we then just ask them to pick a username and a password. Now it's important to remember here with that username, just to make sure that they don't use their real name or any social media handles or gamer tags. Basically, if they think someone else might be able to recognize them from it, we just want to make sure that doesn't happen. And with the password, because we're not collecting email addresses, so we couldn't send out a password reset, So I just want to make sure that a password is something that is nice and easy to remember, and maybe even creating something like a fake contact in their phone, just as a secure place to kind of store those login details. Okay, so once they're through and they have their account set up, again, they can access different things like our chat feature. So as I said, this is all text-based support. We are open 365 days a year. That does include all the major holidays. And while they can message that team inbox anytime, night or day, if they want to have a live chat with a member of our team, we do have set opening hours. Those are 12 to 10 p.m. on weekdays and 6 to 10 p.m. on weekends. Those hours are on our website. And the first 3 chat sessions that a young person would have access to would all kind of be about building a picture of need, seeing what is going on for that young person and what kind of support we offer. And from that point on, a young person might either be set as a drop-in status where they can drop into that chat queue as and when they might need it, or we might offer them 6 structured sessions of support with a member of our Kooth team to give that kind of extra support there. And 77% of our service users felt it was somewhat or very true that they were more likely to seek help for mental health issues after using Kooth. And then we do also have our community support features as well. So we have our magazine, and a lot of this is content written by young people for young people. So they can submit their own stories, wherever they want to share their lived experiences. If they've had a hard time, it could be anything from picking GCSE subjects to maybe managing difficulties with siblings at home. There's lots of different things, whether it's being a young carer, dealing with first-time relationships, managing kind of boundaries with other people. Again, there's loads and loads on there. Everything that does get submitted to the website also gets checked by our Kooth team first before it makes it onto the live site. So that way we ensure that all the content on there is totally safe, friendly, and appropriate. So anything like trolling or bullying never sees the light of day on the website. If we see something like someone might accidentally put the name of their school or their friends, we would just make sure to remove any elements that might identify a person. And finally, if anyone might put anything involving risk or that might be concerning, we can kind of check that and maybe reach out to that person and send them a welfare message inviting them into chat. We also set different age ratings. So what an 11-year-old can see on there is different to what a 17 or 18-year-old can see on there. And we do also have our qualified content team as well. So we do create resources on that magazine, things again around managing stress, well-being techniques, self-care practices, information about different mental health conditions. There's so much that they can check out in that magazine. We do also have our discussion boards, and this is a place where young people can post discussions, asking each other for advice, maybe asking for some support, seeing does anyone else feel this way, am I alone with this or not, and they can get some really fantastic peer support on there. It can also be used as a it can also be used as a social space where people can talk about the things that they enjoy. It might be gaming, might want to talk about Minecraft or Fortnite, or just favorite TV shows. If they watch anime, getting some, anime recommendations. Again, there's just so many different things that people can use these discussion boards for. We do also have live forums, and those run once a week on either a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday evening. They are 7:30 till 9 o'clock at night. It is hosted by a member of our Kooth team each time, and it's on a different topic each week. And those topics always reflect things that our kind of online community are really interested in. And again, this all goes through that moderation process too. So everything here, from the comments, the posts, it all gets checked by our team. And that includes the live forums, which is like a live group chat on there. Everything just gets checked in live time. And finally, we also have our activities hub. There's loads of different activities in there. So a young person can just go in, have a browse, and check out the ones that interest them the most. Whether that is make your own coping box, it might be write a letter to your future self. There are some mindfulness techniques in there. There is a breathing exercise. So it's all very focused on well-being. And, you know, it might not be interesting to try out all of them, but even if there's something like help to improve your sleep routine, there's probably a little something for most people. And there is the opportunity to engage in a chat with others about those activities. So young people can go in and explore and see what others had to say. So yeah, that is another great feature. Then finally, we do have our self-help resources. So on there, we have got our Kooth journal. This can be a great place for people to track how they're feeling, what their mood is. And if someone wants to use their journal regularly, it can be really helpful to look back and see if there's anything that was going on, any possible triggers where they might notice over a certain period of time if they're having the low mood a lot, or even seeing if someone is feeling quite positive or happy a lot. Being able to identify those trends in our moods can be really, really helpful. And we do also have a goal setting tool as well. So young people can set goals by themselves or with others. We always encourage young people to set SMART goals, something that can be kind of outcomes focused and can help someone work towards a future place that they want to be. There's a really lovely quote here from a doctor who specializes in work with young people. As the saying goes, if you don't know where you're going, then any road will get you there. The first step to goal setting is to develop a plan to reach a desired outcome. So we can offer a lot of support in helping a young person reach whatever that desired outcome might look like to them. And finally, a very quick clinical overview. So just to kind of let people know that with our practitioner-led support pathways, so the kind of counseling that we can offer to young people with our team, we can target a wide range of issues at different levels of complexity. And there is a range of different styles there. So it won't be a one size fits all. We try to be person-centered, whether that might be something a bit more outcomes focused, like cognitive behavioral therapy, whether it's something that focuses a bit more on self-care and self-compassion, like compassion focused therapy. There's a lot of different kind of options, lots of different pathways that we could explore with a young person. We use assessment tools as well. So we try to assess and monitor someone's progress. If they are entering into chats with us, they will have the core measure. And that is just a series of statements where we see how a young person is doing. If they score highly on something like I felt low today, we can explore that with them and we can check out how they're doing. And hopefully if they have several chats with us, then over time, what we'd like to see measuring our kind of treatment effectiveness is that any high scores should kind of start to go down. We also keep really thorough and encrypted case note records for all the young people that we support on Kooth. Those are very fully safe and only people from our online service delivery team can access those. And with those case notes, you know, we can have information about a young person, like if they tell us what is going on for them. But again, we still don't have to know their actual identity, so they can still maintain that anonymity. And with safeguarding, we are experienced in holding young people who are in crisis. We have a lot of safeguarding principles and practices in place. We have very clear protocols, so if we ever need it, we can put all those measures into place to support a young person to the very best of our ability. And a quick reminder, you don't need to be referred to Kooth. Anyone can join us as long as they fall within that age range of 11 to 18 in the Bury area. And that is everything that I had today. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope that has given you a bit of a clearer idea about Kooth.